One. He is a former cornerback at Auburn. First team All-American. First team All-SECer. Highest coverage grade from PFF among draft-eligible SEC cornerbacks. 49 tackles, 14 passes broken up, a fumble recovery, 2 INTs last season. Once again, the NFL Draft gets underway April 28th in Las Vegas. Roger McCreary is my guest. Roger, it's good to have you on today. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. All right, so you recently had your pro day. Let me start right there. How pleased were you with the way you showed up on pro day? And then what do you want teams to know about you once you were done?
On the pro day, it was great. It was just like great to be back home and my college. Just my mindset was just going to show everything that I did at Combine. Just delivered and everything. I felt like I did good at the end. And at the end of it, I just wanted to show them that I could run, I could change directions, I'm strong. That was my first time benching. So I feel like I showed them the physical side of me and everything. And I just feel like show them overall as a player of how high I am. So I feel.
Roger McCreary joining us. You know, your story is really interesting to me. For instance, the names of all the All-Americans are displayed on this wall of the Auburn practice facility. I understand that you used to stare at that list during practice. Then you came back to the facility, and your name is now up there with the rest. What did it feel like to see your name among the all-time greats that have played there?
It was crazy when I first coming to college. I always see it, but I never knew what I had to do to get there. So it was just crazy. Like, I was just being me, just playing the sport that I love. And at the end, when I finally came back and see my name on the board, it was just great to actually see the last one with Derrick Brown, because he was a great player, and I was the next player next. And in the last DB was Carson Davis, and I was the next DB. It just felt great to finally be up there, and I felt like I did great at college, and I left my mark there.
Roger McCreary joining us. So you were just playing the game that you've always loved, and you were also playing the game that your mother played and loved. Yes, I just said that. Your mother played Pop Warner football growing up. What have you heard about Mom's game and the physicality that she brought to it?
I just heard that she was just a strong, tough woman. That's how it was growing up. She played linebacker. They call her Icebox because she popped the dude collarbone. And that's all she did was just tackle, and that's how a lot of people just respect her. And just growing up, they always respect me because of her. And I just had to live up to her dream because she loves football, and I feel like I made her proud.
Dude, that is incredible. So how much for your passion, your grit for the game, and your playmaking ability actually come from your mother?
Yeah, I say the passion is really great. It's good. For the game that I love. Just growing up, just see this sport. The sport I love to play and make her happy. That's my why. She is my why, and she pushes me every time and just even get better at the next level, because I know she's going to be there. I'm just trying to make her proud and just play the sport that I actually love.
I love that story. Roger McCreary joining us. So I would ask you about the transition from college to the NFL and the concerns that you might have. But playing at Auburn, you're going up against elite quarterbacks and receivers for years. As an example, your first career start was on the road against Joe Burrow in LSU. I'm curious, take me back to that game. What was running through you in the build-up to that game and then during the game? What was that like?
I'm building up the week coming to that game. My coach telling me that I was going to have to start because of the new scheme that we have been going against them. So I was a little nervous because I had great vets like Derrick Brown, Marlon Davis, Mr. Jeremiah Dix, and everybody. I had to help. And finally, I played in the big game. I was playing Jamar Chase mainly the whole game, and I wasn't even the star corner there. So it was just me playing and not being scared. Just be out there, don't think about it, just play and just make great plays. There was some plays where Jamar Chase scored on me, but there was some plays I feel like I did good. I feel like I hit my ground, and I feel like in that game after I caught the pick, that's where I got my confidence.
I was going to say, actually, you absolutely did hold your own. You picked off Burrow in that game, and that pass was headed to Jamar Chase. You also had double-digit tackles in that game. You nearly pulled off the huge upset. So you just touched on this, but let me just confirm this. When that game was over, because of the way you showed up, did you feel like you proved that you belonged at that level, proved it to yourself and everybody else?
Oh, yes, sir. I feel like I was there, and I feel like my confidence went to the roof. Then I just carried that to the next week, and throughout the whole season, that I had that swag that I belong here. And ever since then, I just made them great plays just as a team. I feel like I did great with that.
Talking to Roger McCreary. So it was not just Chase. You also faced off against Devontae Smith and more. Like, what were those matchups like, and how much did you get out of those challenges?
Just the matchups I'm going against, like Jamar Chase and the other great receivers. It's just great going against them because they all come with the same technique. They all come with the same skills. Some tall and fast, some just jump and have great hands, some is quick and fast. It's just playing the SEC. I feel like it was great. It was great to have that experience in the SEC. That's the reason I love playing in it, because I played against the best, and I feel like I did good against the best. And just carry on to the next level, I feel like I'm going to do great.
Roger McCreary is joining us. So you had a great college career. Now, you know how this process goes. People will try to find every flaw that they can. Sometimes they just make stuff up. I mean, literally, depending on what their agenda is. When you were at the Senior Bowl, one of the things that was talked about was your arm length, and some folks thought that they were not long enough. How did you react when you heard that, and what do you do with that?
When I first heard that, I was really surprised. Because I kind of already knew it, just everybody else didn't know. But when people say that, like when they try to make it out of proportion and everything, I really didn't care, because they wasn't saying that like throughout my whole college career when I was going against big guys, like big tall receivers, that it wasn't showing then. I feel like in none of my family shows, because the type of guy where I play against every receiver, and I feel like the length shouldn't like define the player. Just because size and measurement, it shouldn't define him. I feel like I do great with my short arms. I defend great receivers with my short arms. I did a lot with my short arms, and I feel like I'm going to do great in the future, too.
Right? I mean, was there any part of you like, well, wait a minute, hold up now. The length of my arms, nobody brought this up when I was covering Jamar Chase. Nobody said anything when I was checking Devontae Smith. Why is this an issue right now? Like, I know that you're not going to say that, but did you think that?
Yes, sir. I thought that, but I just let people talk. So I'm just coming. I just need that one phone call, and I'm gonna show the team what I have. But I don't care about what other people say, though.
Good move. I like that. That's how you handle that. I want to ask you about something else. Legend has it you've got one of the greatest pregame meals ever that I've ever heard of. Is it true, my man, that you eat a whole lot of baked beans? How did that start? And when we say a whole lot of baked beans, what are we talking about? A plate? 2 plates? More? What's your approach?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love baked beans. It started when I was growing up. I was going to family barbecue. My mom and my grandma used to always make baked beans, and that would stood out. The leftovers, that would stood out. I just always ate it. But pregame meals, I eat one whole plate. My first plate got to be one whole plate of baked beans with like 8 packs of sugar. That got to be. But with my family, my grandma makes me a whole pot of baked beans by myself, and she have another pot for everybody there at the party. So I've been doing that a lot. It's just something that I really love since I was young, and I would always eat.
Hey, Roger, I don't know what I like better. The fact that you could go through an entire pot of baked beans, that you get your own pot, and then the party gets their pot, or that you hit it with that much sugar, or that mom's played linebacker. I don't know what I like best about this whole thing. I like all of these things. How about this? Am I correct in thinking you grew up as an Alabama fan? If that's the case, how did you end up at Auburn?
I grew up a Bama fan. I always grew up a Bama fan, but as it got closer to the end of my high school career, Auburn, that was paying more attention on me than Bama. Like that was getting a lot of attention on me. So when I went on the visit with Auburn, everything was great and everything. And Bama, they didn't really give me an offer really. It was a PWO, but that was it right there. So that was like a chip on my shoulder, and my mindset just switched. And I just want to beat Bama. That was my mindset. Every time when I played against them, I try to give all I got just to beat them, because I know a lot of people back home love Bama. So I want to make them upset and finally beat Bama.